Welcome to fmtrain.tv, not TK. All right, so anyway, TK55678, for those of you who don't know, he kind of retired, but he was one of the main stalwart people that would come to these live streams and contribute a lot. The community is only great if people like you, only you, can contribute awesome stuff. So we do appreciate it. Today, Jon Hogle, this guy up here. Are you there, Jon Hogle?
I am here. Hello, everyone.
Welcome, everyone. Cool. It's going to be very awesome. So today is a conversation about the FileMaker platform. We're glad you're here. We're going to be talking about Dropbox and FileMaker, and it's really just another API. Now, before we get involved with all the salacious stuff, let me hit the button for upcoming live streams. Yeah, so today is Dropbox. Tomorrow, or Monday, is Nick is doing the Fast and the Furious with remote deletion, which is pretty awesome. And then more tricks and tips and tricks from Nick on Tuesday. Then Wednesday is kind of an interesting day. So we're going to be doing kind of like a post-mortem, I guess, if you want to call it that. It'll be like where the CEO of Claris, he's there and he's going to be doing this kind of a keynote, but not really a keynote, but he's going to do a video to tell you what he's trying to do or not do or whatever. And so we're going to be doing a post-mortem on that speech. So it'd be like the news media analyzing it. We had a question about how do you set or change the default fields that you get when you create a new table in FileMaker. It gives these default fields. So on a Mac, on Windows a little differently. On a Mac, I think probably pretty similar in Windows. You're going to right click on the Mac. You're going to say show my package, right? So that's here's your package. Inside the package is this big long pile of crap. Basically, it's this folder called contents. You're going to open the folder up, and then you're going to come down to the folder called resources, right? And then you're going to scroll down, and you're looking for, I think it was ES or EL, EN. It was EN. So they're different languages, right? So it's based on languages. And so EN if you're using English, right? And all right, and if you're looking for English, then you're going to come down here and you're going to pop open this default Fields Xml file right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click. I'm going to say open with something that's not Word, like text edit. And so these are the default fields that get created, right? So if I zoom in here a little bit, you'll see that it's going to create a field called timestamp, a field called, so you could create one called, we could change this one right here. This would be kind of fun. We'll call it primary key. We'll just call it primary lobster, right? So the lobster is primary lobster. I'm going to save it. I'm going to close it. And then I'm going to go to FileMaker. And I think in order for this to work, I'm going to zoom back out. I think I have to probably quit FileMaker and reopen. I'm just going to go and do that proactively. I just want to kill it and then bring it back. And then I'm going to say, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to create a new file. We'll just call it blank file, create to the desktop, and there it is right there. So it used the default right there. So we have primary lobster, which is pretty ass-kicking great, pretty awesome. Primary lobster, not secondary lobster. That is correct. So that is hot tip number one. Now here's the deal. That is something to keep in mind. That text change right here is inside basically the FileMaker application. The FileMaker application, when you run it, is basically on the Mac, it's all this crap in here, right? So it's a bunch of various resources and frameworks and a bunch of crap that you don't have. This is stuff that doesn't have anything to do with you, but it's the application when they compile it, the database engine, the wrapper, and all this other stuff. And so, and really Claris doesn't really even like you to play in here, but you can. Now here's the rub. If you replace this version of FileMaker with another one, you're going to lose your changes in here, right? Makes sense? You're going to lose your changes. If FileMaker patches, like they run a little update and they patch it, then your changes should still be in there. If suddenly the changes aren't there, you're going to have to reopen resources, find where the changes are at, like the add-on modules, and then do something, right? So in here, the add-on modules, you can go in here and change the add-on modules or do whatever you want to do, right? All sorts of stuff. So pretty cool stuff. So that was the opening question for today. That's for Larry, one of our moderators. We do love a moderator. Jon, tell us who you are and why we should care about you.
My name is Jonathan Hogle. I am a developer here at RCC. I've been working with RCC going on 8 years now, and I was the primary engineer for Starting Point for the last about 6 years, working in conjunction with Nick Hunter, who did most of the UI aspect, but for the code changes and additional features.
For those of you who are like, what the hell? He's a primary engineer. So he's the one who makes the localizations for Australia and for the UK and the EU. And then another group of junior engineers who are below Hogle will make the light version, which is the version that we like to use for training and stuff like that.
I also do a lot of API work for different clients and customers. I did the PayPal API. We had a demonstration about that just recently, and I've done a whole lot more. I've done ShipStation and I've done not Squarespace, but I've done Square. I've done a lot of different payment APIs and just different things like that. So this is sort of my wheelhouse of things that I typically work on.
All right, so show us your screen. So here is some amazing stuff from Jon. Jon, show us what you have.
I have just the most beautiful file you've ever seen.
Better.
The things that it can do will change your life. So this is a Dropbox sample file. It's pretty light in what it does currently. Again, that's not good salesmanship. Don't tell people that. But what essentially this is a pretty simple demo file. Its only purpose is to take whatever you have in this field and put it inside Dropbox.
So this is going to upload Dropbox, right? Instead of using a floppy disk to give someone a file, we're going to post this to Dropbox. So why don't you show us kind of before and after and walk it? I want people to learn how this kind of works and walk through it. So let's do that, right?
Okay. So just a sample of it working, I'm going to hit this upload to Dropbox button. I'm going to get the response down here. My status will say the file is uploaded. It does actually tell you when it's uploading the file as well, but it was pretty quick because this file is like 50 kilobytes. So now if I opened up my Dropbox here, you can already see today that the file was added just now, and it's right in here. And if you wanted to look at it in more detail, you can see it here, and I can open it, and it's, you know, fully there, all formed, and it's live and up in Dropbox. So let's take a little bit of time to kind of dive into how this works and what it does. I'm going to go ahead and open the script workspace here.
Okay. Well, it's hard to read some of this. I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit because you've got super colors on, and when you do dark, it's just hard to read.
The green on black, yeah, that's especially if you highlight it. It's like what.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit here, so all the blind people like myself can see it. All right, so go ahead, start at the top. Go.
All right. So the first thing it does is it's gonna make sure that there's a file that actually is in this thing here. So it's gonna check right here to see if there's a file there. Then it's going to tell us right here that's updating the status field like I was talking about. It's going to say uploading file. When it takes longer than a few seconds, you can actually see that being in there. And then the first thing we do here is we set the file path in Dropbox. Now, Dropbox is
keep going.
Pretty.
I just had to scroll around. You moved off the spot. So keep going.
I apologize. Dropbox is pretty simple in its file path because you don't really need to know anything about the server address or like the main host. You're starting with this slash. This slash right here means the base directory of Dropbox. So if I open my, let me close this really quick. And if I open this folder here, you can see it's right in here. This is, it's not in any folders. It's not anywhere. It's just in Dropbox plain as day, and it's just sitting there in the base directory. If you want to put it in folders, you just type the folder name right here. So as an example, I can show you just right now, test, and then new folder. And I can put the slash at the end and say OK. If I save this, Hit upload to Dropbox. It's going to run. You look at Dropbox here. You can see
Ooh.
it went ahead and it
Did
created.
it
test.
actually created the folder for you?
Yep, and new folder. Well, I had a folder called test already from earlier. But yes, it created the full path. So new folder is the folder I created, and here's the file. So it's extremely easy to create folders on Dropbox for specific files. It works sort of similarly to the way that external storage with FileMaker in general works, where you can set that when you're saving an image, you want it to save in this folder with this ID name, and it kind of like drops all the way down.
This is very cool stuff. So
I told you it would change your life.
It did change my life. All right. So question: does it support Smart Sync? So Smart Sync is where you have kind of. Can you go back to the folder, your Dropbox folder, real quick? I know you got that big ugly thing there. You like the long thing. All right, so Smart Sync is kind of like this right here is a Smart Sync. It's a folder or an item on your directory. It's like an alias. It's like an alias. It's not really there. It's a pointer to it. And if you click on it, ask for it, then Dropbox goes, oh crap. It has like a little unhappy face. It goes, crap, I have to get this. So then it runs off to the internet and goes, and then brings it down to your computer, and then you have it, right? So it only syncs if you decide you request it. The problem is there's a delay in getting it. That's why I don't use it, because mostly we're synchronizing videos, and when I want to watch a video, like from like a live stream from yesterday, where I said the word too many times, then it becomes kind of a problem because you have to wait for gigabytes to come down. It's kind of a hassle. But I don't know. Could you do Smart Sync with this, where you say it's there but don't really sync it? I mean,
well, this will excuse me. This will upload the file. The folders that it creates are going to be basic folders. There are ways to create share folders and sync folders through the API, but just doing it through the code that I wrote, it's not going to create a Smart Sync folder. It's just going to create a simple standalone folder.
So you just did the basics on that.
So the next thing that I do is I specified the URL. So this is where I'm going to make the call on Dropbox. So that's content.dropboxapi.com/2 files alpha upload. And then what I do after that is I'm going to tell FileMaker where the file is, which is just this container field. So, yeah.
That's fine. I'm just doing the animation like John Madden for football. All right, quarterback's over here. He's going to throw the ball over here. Then his defensive backman's going to go over here. And there's a pass, touchdown, and we all get a beer because we got 7 points. Thank you. Sorry. It's Friday. I've got way too much caffeine. Keep going.
It's nice that they don't even have to win to get the beer. They just have to score.
All right, go.
So there's the file there. And so this piece here is interesting. This is unique to Dropbox. So what this is arguments. And I say it's unique to Dropbox. In most APIs, you don't have them. There are other APIs besides Dropbox that do have arguments you need to send, but it's unique in that most APIs don't. So this is a lot of information. I'm going to go through it pretty quick. We don't need this. That's why it's disabled. It has to do with security policies and things like that, which I didn't go through with this. So the first thing it wants is the path. That is what we said earlier with the slashes. That's how we created our folders.
Keep going. I'm just drawing.
Yep. The next thing is the mode overwrite. So what this means is if I am trying to upload a file.
No, we got what it means because you already demonstrated. Overwrite means if it runs into something that's in its way, it'll blow it out, and if something's not there, it'll create it as necessary. So
yeah,
yep. We're all smart here. We're all smart here. I mean, I got the Listen, if we dumb this down too far, Lobster's going to yell at me. So yeah, no.
Yeah. So it will overwrite a file if it already exists. If it has the same name, and then auto rename this here with the overwrite is technically not needed, but it is for if it runs into an issue with a file, is it going to rename it to something else? And the mute here has to do with the Dropbox notification. I have Do Not Disturb on right now because of the live stream, so you didn't see it anyway. But the banner notification from Dropbox that something has been added does come up.
I hate that. I turn all that off because Dropbox goes, hey, would you like to join my social network? Hey, would you like to be friends? Hey, Fred looked at your file and decided to upvote it. I'm like, I don't give a just post it, right? I don't care. Yes, Lobster. Okay, can I make this big for people? All right, this does, hey, Jeremy, if you're editing the video, this does not get removed. Okay? Yes. Thank you. Okay? That's the most awesome comment that I've seen in a month. So, yeah. So, quit trying to be social media. All right, so sorry. So this says disable social media stupid, right? Where is that at? False.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Turn off all the bullshit. Just like post the file.
Well, if you want to turn it off, you would change it to true.
Mute.
Right now it's false.
Oh, it's a double negative.
Yeah.
So mute false. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Babble at people on or off. Yeah. It's a double negative. I had it backwards. Sorry.
No worries. Just wanted to make it clear. And then I have in here this here, which I will show you in a minute. It is the same thing except the mode is changed to add. And what that will do is, instead of overwriting the file, it'll create a copy of it and put the little parentheses 1 next to that for every time you try to upload it, and it has the same name.
Okay.
And I will show that here. I can do it right now, actually, because I coded it that way. All right, so if I hit upload to Dropbox here, took a second, uploaded it, you can see right here already that it added this parentheses 1. If you look inside Dropbox, inside test new folder, you can see that it is here as a copy. So there's 2 different modes that you can kind of turn on and off, sort of to your preference of whether or not you have a lot of files with the same name. Usually that's not recommended, but if for whatever reason you need copies or you don't want something to be overwritten, like you've updated it or something like that, but it's not, you want to preserve the old history and you didn't rename it, that would be something that you could use.
Yeah. Well, if you're uploading a report, right, and the people wanted to see the previous reports, they would you just train them to go to the bottom. Is the most up-to-date one the biggest number? Is that what that is?
Yes, it would be if they all had the same name, it would be the biggest number.
Yes, if you had number 13 down there, right, then that would be the most up-to-date, the one that was synced most recently, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. All right. What else?
And then the last thing that we have here is our curl settings. And this is additional information that you pass to a API or a website to give us some additional instructions on what to do with what you're giving it, besides just trying to visit the website. So we're adding a header here, and we're giving a authorization bearer, and then the API token. The API tokens for Dropbox are interesting. I have one right here. You don't need to request them every time you do it. Relatively recently, they have changed it so that you can. But if you go to Dropbox, and you go here, so I'll walk you through it. If we're on Dropbox, you hit App Console here. You click on FileMaker Pro. I created this. You can look here, and it says Generate Access Token, and then it has this Access Token expiration. This is relatively recent. It used to not exist. It used to always just not expire. Now they have short-lived tokens that you can use, which can be a little bit more secure. But you'll hit Generate, it'll give you this token, and this token will be the live token forever until you generate a new one, or they do have options in their API to revoke the token, basically just to disable it. So that is how the authorization works for Dropbox.
Are we looking at YouTube at all? I haven't looked at YouTube. I just occurred to me.
I haven't looked at YouTube. There's a question that you need to look at the answer because I can't answer it.
What occurred to me suddenly, I was having so much fun talking to Ellen the Lobster, I was ignoring the poor YouTube people, and I feel bad. I do feel bad about that. So let me go ahead and jump over here. Question: do you know how to upload to OneDrive?
I have uploaded to OneDrive in the past. This demo doesn't do that, but it is something that I can help you with. If you want to reach out to support@rcconsulting.com, I can get with you after the live stream and talk to you about OneDrive installation and discuss that with you.
I guess we could always have if you have a sample file for that, we could always discuss that on another engagement. All right, so Sued video, whatever. I got the file, I put in my own token, uploaded file successfully, and it works great. All right, so we got some hot telemetry. We had some hot Twitch action going on right here. Sued video says he downloaded it and it works. The question says, do you know if it's possible to retrieve a shareable link to the upload file? Yeah, you should be able to. Yes, you can do that.
You can do it through the API. Again, this sample file doesn't do it, and again, I have done it before.
The goal was for us to get you going on this, and in here, do we have what are resources? What does this do?
This is the API documentation. So
so this right here takes you over here. Oh man, what the hell?
Why? It's just this link. That doesn't make sense. Not this link. It's this link.
What did you do?
Wow. Apparently, it didn't like it.
I think you're missing. Here, hit it again. Hit it again. You're missing the colon there? Dot. There's supposed to be a colon over there.
Weird.
Oh, you bogarted the link and you didn't test it. Nice. All right. Well, anyway, everyone, you need to fix the link, or we'll try to fix it for you. But the point was to get you going in the right direction. I did not in no way tell you that Hogle was not drinking, and I mean, look at this, right? So
it's in here.
Stop. We're gonna look. This is what happens when you drink before you do a live stream, right?
You're not a true FileMaker engineer if if FileMaker has not driven you to alcohol at least once.
The question is how much alcohol we'll be drinking next Wednesday is the question. So, all right. So Sue Divide says, I want you to do all the work for me. Yes, right. So, well, okay. Can I make a suggestion? If you want if you have questions about OneBox, Dropbox, OneDrive, or any other question, if you send an email to support RC Consulting, we'll forward it to Hogle, and he can respond to your question. Rick is asking about the file from yesterday. The problem yesterday, remember we were watching it, and it kind of mostly worked, but I didn't like it, and so I have him making some changes to that file from yesterday. For those of you, it was this whole idea about, because yesterday was a really good session too. Frankly, it was really great. The problem is that my engineer hadn't quite figured it all out. The problem with this file was that when you drag and drop certain PDFs in there, it would not behave 100% reliably. It was doing a couple weird things based upon the PDF size and things like that. I have no idea why it's taken forever to open. Could be the fact that so these are non-interactive. We talked about interactive, non-interactive containers. Really good project for us to discuss, right? The problem was it wasn't being super reliable. So as we went forward in records, like I tried some other records here, like this one right here, and I say generate thumbnail, you press the button, and there's a little bit of delay, and then it should pop out and work. And so there was some timing issues here, some other things that we hadn't seen. So I kind of sent it back to the labs to have it fixed before I give you something that's going to drive you insane. That makes sense, right? Yep. So, and this one's a 33.9 megabyte one, so it's a little on the fat side. So here it worked. See, this one worked correctly, but it's not 100% reliable, which was driving me slightly bonkers yesterday. So we're going to change the way it's engineered a little bit to make it, because the whole point of it was to make reliable PDF generation for Windows users do not use interactive containers. I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, it is kind of towards the end of the hour here. I mean, loosely. So do we have any questions from other people about what we're doing? Hogle, have we covered everything? Kind of not really, or what else do we want to do?
I mean, I can go over headers, but that's really the only other thing that happened is I'm doing what this is right here, this application octet stream. Instead of usually you'll do content type JSON or application JSON, things like that. Octet stream here just means that you're giving it binary. So down here I have data binary at and then the file, and it's just giving. This just means take all of the ones and zeros that I give you and turn it back into the file as it gets sent to you.
Okay, so you and I were discussing this the other day, but I think we're base 64ing this file.
It's binary. It's directly binary, not base 64.
Really, directly binary. So how do we convert that? Does this thing convert it, or how do we?
Yeah, with the curl option of data binary, it is automatically converting it into binary to upload.
FileMaker. So FileMaker is doing that. So that is a curl option, and okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what data binary is. Data binary sounds like very generic nouns, like super generic, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty literal. It just means what I'm giving you here is going to be binary, so read it as binary. Read it as ones and zeros.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because most time you got, like, when you do files and you dump things out, you got, UTF and ASCII, and then you got little Indian and big Indian and all this other stuff. And whenever someone leaves out the details, it makes me wonder what the hell we assumed, right? So, all right, Kyle Williams, are you there? Anything else going on with you? You've been awful quiet today. Is there a way to change the table occurrence of the table? Are we talking about
the main occurrence?
The main occurrence of the table. I'm confused as what he's asking.
I'm guessing he's talking about, like, in a relationship graph, you have your main TO that got created here. Is there a way to switch it to a secondary TO as the main TO? I can field that, or you can. It doesn't really matter.
You just have to change the path, right, or whatever you're doing. Yes.
Yeah, or just make the layout change to not being based on this TO, but whatever TO you need it to be. This isn't a great example because there's only one TO, but.
Hogle, we're still looking at your screen. Are you going to do something here for us?
I was just saying I don't need to do it. I was just saying if I could code that while you were talking about some other things.
Why don't you go ahead and do it real quick? You got 5 minutes. See if you can code it. No
5
pressure.
more minutes. Okay.
I can give you 8 minutes if you really want, but yes. Scott, other people questions, YouTube side of things, pretty quiet. I can't remember, there was an issue with the wheat bricks thing. It was we wanted to use it. Actually, there was an issue we couldn't use it, Kyle, because it doesn't meet one of the mission objectives. I can't remember what it was. We looked at doing that, and I need to ask Jonathan Ray about it. Right, I have to go back and ask him about that. There was an issue with. Basically, I don't know if you guys ever want to watch the master at working at high speed. You can do that, I guess. So he's over here grabbing the API. There he goes. Oh, creating a share link. Oh, there we go. Yeah, interesting. So, yeah. You're at Hogle speed. So this is not necessarily, if people say slow down, we're not going to slow down. Right? So we're just going at full speed here. All right. Yep. As we all watch it.
You just get a lot of flashes while I was just trying to throw this together really quick because I know people were asking and there were some other questions.
See if you can do it. See if you can do it. Do it.
Yeah,
other
all
questions?
You want is this, right?
Fosnon, I just spent the afternoon renumbering the network. Fun job for 100 devices. Yeah, Rick says, I just heard part of that. He's been the afternoon renumbering the network. So you mean like you have what, they're kind of like dynamic or static addresses, that they're really static, or they're just, you're talking about IP4, Rick? Is that what you're talking about? So Rick's talking about, all the jobs that we do during the day besides FileMaker. I have to, what we call CEO, or, CEOing is what I call it, like surfing. And then a lot of you do all sorts of stuff. Kyle spends half his time doing FileMaker work and half his time as a massage therapist. So he has to split his time between the two, which is an interesting skill set. Hogle, did you get it to work? Yes or no?
Nope.
Nope?
Nope. Didn't like it.
Oh, man.
Didn't like my JSON.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's what happens. It'll probably work tomorrow, but it won't work today. All right, everyone. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other questions? Make sure you send an email to support@RC Consulting. And Nick is back on Monday. Nick will be here. So for those of you who only show up when Nick is here, we'll see you on Monday. All right?
Guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.